Hello, my name is Melissa Davidson. I'm the Senior Sales Executive for Northern Insuring. I work in the commercial department in our Glens Falls office. Here at Northern, we are your guide, your advocate, our community. Northern Insuring has been in business for 90 years. We are still a family-owned company. Our motto here is to simplify the complicated. We are trying to listen to our clients and we guide them in whatever way necessary, and we kind of make it a tailored aspect for them. I think probably impacting the clients is a lot of like new business owners. They come into this industry and they really just don't know what to do, and really kind of trying to be their guide, and it's scary. Like sometimes, like you have no idea when you're part of a company, all the other expenses that go along with running a business. And I think that's really just like being a guide for them and helping them through, the startups. Even with people that have been in the business for a long time, it's, the industry is changing. We're really seeing an impact in the last 5 years and trying to be that, arm for them to be able to get them in the best place with the best coverages, while keeping the premiums where they should be. Well, I think at Northern right now, I think our biggest standout is that we're still a family-owned company. We're going on 4th generation, which is very non-typical in this industry. A lot of local agencies are getting bought out by larger, and that's where we are seeing an influx of people that still want to work with people in the community. We don't treat clients as like a number. No client is too small. So I think that's really what sets us apart and what we're seeing a lot coming in the door. So it's really putting that unique touch to it still. I don't think a lot of people know that we're still family owned and it's still, 4th generation. So. Probably an interesting fact about me is I come from a very large family. Maybe some people know that, but my grandfather was one of 17. So when I feel like I'm related to everyone, I probably am related to everyone, especially being in this community. So I think that's something unique. I think another factor that people may or may not know is I am a workaholic. I work for Northern Insuring full time, but I also pick up shifts at Common Roots, and I also work at Lawrence Street. So typically I am always working and it's kind of not that fun. So those are interesting things. I think other people think recently, because I do a lot of training and I just recently did a triathlon, that I've always been active, and I've actually only ran my first 5K like 5 years ago. I would despise running. So I find it interesting because everyone thinks I'm super active and I've always been this way, but it's actually only like as of recently that I've gotten into, sports more competitively. So why I like this industry so much is that every day is different. No 2 days are really the same. Like, everything's on your calendar and you have it lined up, but it's like everything just kind of pops up and it's like you have to change like rules a lot. I think another thing that motivates me is I get to work with a bunch of different people. My book of business is very spread out. I work with municipalities, schools, contractors, building owners, so I don't really have like a niche market. And what's kind of neat about that is everyone has different personalities, and you kind of just blend to, fit your personality with their personality. And I think that, jazzes me a lot, and everyone's like so unique in different ways. And it's fun just having a, different group of people working with every day, so. I love meeting new people. And really, I think another thing is like I found so many industries that I never knew existed until I started doing this job. And it's really unique to be able to find out like other people's day-to-day lives and what they actually do. And that's really fun. I had originally planned that I wanted to work with children with autism. I took a really neat class in college. I graduated, I started working at O'Toole's, made a bunch of money, and then doing the math out about like going back to school, getting your master's degree. I've always been a money conscious person, and it just like didn't add up, and I had paid off my student loans. So I worked there for a while, and then I finally was like, I want a 9-to-5 job. So I applied at State Farm, and you kind of had to know someone to get in. I worked there for about 3 years, learned a lot, and my cousin worked for MBT and called me up and says, there's an insurance position. I'm like, I'll take it, because I just wanted to get out of the cubicle life, I called it. I wasn't really sure what I was even getting into. I didn't even know it was sales. So I worked there for a couple years, and then I had been approached by Northern because I originally grew up in Plattsburgh. So I had some mutual clients that were clients of theirs that I had to try to take, but that's how I got connected with Northern, and it ended up being a different fit for me. And once we made the change from moving our office from Whitehall to Glens Falls is when I did come on board. So it's been over 7 years now, and I can't believe it because it was like a blink of an eye, and I'm still here, but it's amazing how much I've learned in probably the 14 years I've been in the business. So that's all I have. I would probably say this year has probably been my top year. It was a very challenging year. Despite the market being challenging, I also set very high expectations for myself. I set, obviously we have goals here at Northern, and usually all of us producers set reach goals for ourselves. So it kind of like motivates us to do more. And I think this year in particular stood out because I was very time crunched with training for the triathlon. I mean, I was training anywhere from 2 to 5 hours a day. But I feel like it's the biggest accomplishment because I was able to accomplish something so hard and still really do so well at work. So something that we were given to a couple years ago was a keychain, and on the keychain it said, call the damn leads. And it's something that still sits on my desk every day. It's still a reminder every day to just pick up the phone. It's like a quote from, I think, The Wolf of Wall Street, the movie, and it's still true. It's like, just call the people. Not every day, the phone's gonna be ringing and calling in, but it's just call the leads, and it's amazing what you can do by just picking up the phone. I always find it funny because we actually do a cold call blitz as a company once a month. We all sit down together and we put our phones on speaker and we cold call people. And the funny part is some people are like, are you cold calling me? And it's like, yes, I am. Because and they actually sometimes, not always, but sometimes they appreciate it because they're like, people don't do this anymore. So I think that's what's fun, and we've kind of brought it back, but it's always like, just call the people. I think the best advice is it's okay to make mistakes. I think you learn the best when you make a mistake. Obviously, no one likes to do it, but I mean, 9 times out of 10, you'll never do it again. And you can actually gain some knowledge by not being always so perfect. So I think just be okay with it. So.